It's Ash from Super Videos, back for another video for Season 9 of The Walking Dead. This is gonna be my promo or trailer breakdown for the next episode of The Walking Dead, Season 9, Episode 3, which is called Warning Signs. Now, last episode left on a pretty intense note, a pretty big cliffhanger. Of course, there are many things that hint at who might potentially be the one that attacked Justin in the episode, at the end of the episode. And speaking of which, I actually stumbled upon this picture on the internet. It's on AMC's website, but you can't really go on it. You can only view it on Google. So I'm not sure if it was supposed to be released or not, but it's a pretty big spoiler. It's actually a very major spoiler in terms of what we're talking about Justin. Now, the title of it is Opening Minutes of the third episode, but of course it's not available to us yet, because if you just click on it, you can't see it. So I'm not sure what's that all about. I will do a standalone video on that for those of you that might be interested, because of course some of you might have already seen that anyway. But I'll keep that to a separate video. So with all of that said, let's jump right into this promo breakdown. So the promo starts with this shot of Maggie and someone else. I thought it was Cal for a sec, but it's someone from Hilltop. And of course they're bringing in the supplies, the food, to the saviors, to the sanctuary, construction workers. As we will see in the next shot, they are stopped by some saviors who are looking for their friends who have gone missing, Justin being one of them. Now, one thing I do want to mention is I am very suspicious about this savior with the beard, because I think he is very likely to have been the one that attacked Justin, because I think he wants to kill Justin and be able to frame Rick and the others and to revolt against Rick and the survivors and to gather some support from the other saviors. And the other thing that's very interesting is that we have not only Arat, but also Lara there. And those are the members of the sanctuary that are more or less known to be loyal to Rick and the others at this point. So it's very interesting that they're actually part of this group. And this goes back to what I said about maybe some of the saviors are trying to get the support of the other saviors who might be very loyal to Rick and the others. And in the background, we have Rick saying the future belongs to all of us now. Most likely, he's talking to Daryl.
You ever think about what they do?
And because of this shot here, it leads me to think that Rick was actually talking to Daryl in the previous shot. But Daryl is making a case that, maybe we shouldn't trust these people, even though some of them do fall in line and some of them are loyal to us. We shouldn't trust them. And he makes a point saying that, do you ever think about what they do, referring to the saviors? Is that good? So basically saying that there are still some saviors that are doing things that might not be up to standards from what Daryl, Rick, and the others support. We have this shot of what seems to be a fight breaking out between maybe some saviors, maybe other members that are in the camp, the temporary camp that they've set up. And we have Lara pushing her way through the crowd to get to the front. And we even see Cindy, I think, in the back as well. And then we get a clear shot of who's fighting here. So it's pretty much everyone. Not only the saviors, but regular survivors as well. Maybe from all communities. And we have this shot of this one savior with the beard again. He's trying to get some sort of weapon, it seems like. Actually, he's trying to punch someone and Carol just stops. But it's very interesting. She has the ring on. That's the ring Ezekiel gave her. So that's pretty cool. And of course, we have Carol with her hands on her weapon. And the savior is, of course, staring right at it. So I'm sure this is going to lead to that scene from the trailers that we've seen. The main trailer, which is Carol pointing the gun at this guy here. And also the guy here having Carol at knife point. Most likely we have Carol pointing the gun at this guy first, and then later on we have this guy having Carol at knife point, because if we take a look at that shot from the trailer, it's at nighttime. So Most likely, Carol points the gun at this guy first, and then later on, he retaliates by having her at knife point. And then in here, we see everyone pulling out their weapons. We have Carol there, we have Jerry in the background, I think, and we have Beatrice and Cindy there as well, and of course Alden at the front. Most likely, he's trying to be the voice of reason and trying to come up with some sort of deal with the saviors that are trying to cause problems. And we have Carol saying, I wanted to end it before it begins. And based on other trailers and teasers, we know he's talking to Rick. And he's talking about how he wanted to just kill the savior with the beard and get it over with. And we have this shot of Maggie fighting some walkers. And she says, we gave Rick's way a chance. And she's talking to Daryl. And Daryl nods and agrees with her. So I'm sensing a lot of hostility and a lot of problems and tensions building up between Maggie and Rick. But like I've said before, I don't think this is going to lead to any sort of real civil war between the characters. I think this is just very high level and there's a lot of disagreement. That's all it is. And this is most likely related to the tension that's being built between the saviors and the survivors. I don't think this is related to Negan. I could be wrong. And then we have this shot of Daryl and Maggie walking in the road. They're carrying maybe some fuels. Maybe they found the supplies that was going missing and maybe the saviors took that and kept it for themselves. Maybe some of them. And maybe Daryl and Maggie found it and now they have this plan to punish the saviors, which kind of does connect to what Maggie was saying in the previous shot. We have a voiceover with Rick saying once we do this, there's no going back. So that's very interesting. And then, of course, we have this shot of what I think is the same kind of fight that we initially saw at the start. We have Father Gabriel and Rosita there as well. And they're just staring and pointing their guns at most likely the saviors. We have this shot, which is very interesting. We have Rick riding through the crowd. Maybe that's what stops the fight. Maybe Rick is doing this to stop the fight. And maybe he shoots his gun to kind of get everyone to stop. We have a voiceover with Rick saying everything we're doing, it ends, and he's pointing his gun at someone. Not sure who he's pointing his gun at. Maybe a savior, maybe the savior with the beard, maybe Justin, not sure, but definitely this is related to the tension between the saviors and the survivors. And we do also see a quick shot of during the night. She's also with her weapon. So I think Carol and Rick together go out maybe looking for the saviors and maybe everything is connecting to what Maggie and Daryl found, those supplies. Maybe they find it and they let Rick know and maybe that's when things pop off. But that's the end of the trailer and that's basically the end of the trailer. Stay tuned for my prediction for this episode, Warning Signs, Season 9, Episode 3, tomorrow. And also stay tuned for my review of the last episode, Episode 2, which was called The Bridge, tonight. And also stay tuned for the video that I was talking about with a potential spoiler for the next episode. I don't know. I'm most likely going to make sure that it doesn't ruin it for everyone when I post the thumbnail. So I'll just talk about it for those of you that might be interested. That's it for this video. See you next time for another super video. If you like what you see, press like, subscribe for more content, and press the bell button to receive notifications for daily uploads. Like and follow the Facebook page of this channel to join our community. And check out the upload schedule to learn more about daily uploads.